Hey guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, hey, we have a little bit of an indoor project we're working on at the moment. So, what are we doing? Well, we're doing a little remodel here at the Heritage Farms corporate offices and the pantry. But hey, before we dig into this project, if you're new to the channel, please hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, costs nothing. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, and it really helps our channel. So let's show you what we're working on. We're gonna make a spice rack that's going to go on the inside of the pantry door. So what we did here, we started out, we took some blue painter's tape and we kind of laid down a little template of what this thing would look like. Now keep in mind, this is a hollow door, so you're going to have a special fastener to actually put your spice rack on there. You're going to need something like this, an easy anchor, hollow door, and drywall anchor. Now, each one of those will hold up to 40 pounds. So what's the plan here? Well, the plan is our pantry is a really small pantry. That was one mistake we made in this house. We should have put a walk-in pantry, and we just don't have a lot of room in that regard. So we end up putting all of our spices up here in some of these small cabinets. And the problem is you can't find what you need. It's, you have to dig around, move 4 or 5 different containers to find the one you need. So we're going to take this opportunity to put in a spice rack on the back of the pantry door. Now, one thing we're going to look at, we're going to make this out of 1x4, so we got to make sure that as this door closes, or if this thing sticks out, that we have the clearance to meet where we're not hitting anything. So that's kind of the plan when we work on it. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this out of 1x4s, and let's see here. Oh, looky there. I've already started on it. So I'm saving you guys some of the boring stuff of how we did this. Basically, we used a trim saw or a miter saw. We bought the 1x4 pieces, came in here. To make it really simple, we cut these on 18-inch centers because I wanted to make sure that I kept the anchors at least in between and away from the cosmetic work on the back. We're not gonna really have any back to this because the door will be the actual back. And then we did a couple of things here. So once we got them in, we came up here, we countersunk our holes where you're actually gonna use the anchors to hold it to the wall. We used, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we actually used pocket holes everywhere. So this has Craig joints on it, using 1 1/4 inch. We also came in here. We had to cut out a little section to go around that doorknob, if you see right there, which is a little bit frustrating, but hey, not the end of the world. But we have various things. So one of the goals was we have these, we're starting to buy a lot of our spices in bulk. So we'll have the ability to put those in here, which is really nice. You can kind of line them up, see what it's like. But one thing we've noticed is spices come in all different sizes and shapes. So you have some of these round containers that, may need a little bit different, depth. So we use some dowel pin on that. Then we got a bunch of the little bitty spices. So right here, we made a riser, and then we put in a dowel rod. Then down here we have another bar, so we can kind of move back and forth. You can see what this kind of looks like. So another area right here for smaller type seasonings. And then down here at the bottom we have some taller ones where if we want to put something like corn syrup or something down there, we can do it. So the goal being, have all of your spices on display where it's easy to get and you can't really miss it. So I thought this was going to be a really quick, easy job. And my daughter was in town, so luckily she had a chance to help me. So the first thing we did was we cut all of our pieces, and then we had to drill all of our pilot holes because each crossboard has 4 pilot holes. There's 2 screws on each side. So man, by the time you go through here and you cut and drill and sand all of those boards, it's quite a bit of work. And then to get it all together, trying to make sure it's square and straight, it's a little time consuming. So now we're at the point where tomorrow we're gonna actually sand this thing. We're gonna, try to get it as smooth as we possibly can. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna caulk all of the joints. So all of the joints around this thing will be caulked. We'll actually clean this up. And then once we get it all sanded and caulked, then we'll start the process of painting it, which is not gonna be easy with all of the little nooks and crannies and everything else. But once we get it painted, actually before we paint it, we'll come over here and we'll do a dry install. So we'll hold it up here. We'll drill our anchor points using the hollow bits or the hollow wall anchors that they have. And then we'll go back to actually painting the door, the rack itself. Once we get the rack painted, we'll come back and install it. Once it's installed, then we can go from there. So anyway, so I thought I'd just share with you what we've been working on. We had this little project going. I'm kind of excited to have it. We're starting to cook more and more and really enjoying it. So I want the ability to have all my spices readily available so I can see them, quickly take inventory, and plus they're out of the way, just makes it nice and neat. All right, more to follow. We'll give you an update once we got it sanded and basically caulked and primed. Okay guys, here's the finished product. I fast forwarded past a couple of steps. I think the last time you saw it in the video was just actually put together. So what did? We came back and we actually did some finish work on it. We came in, we actually used caulk. We caulked all of the joints just to kind of give it a more professional finish. And you can see we used some 1-inch trim pieces for the larger items. Some of the smaller items, we came in here and used 5/16 dowel pin, but it turned out really nice. I really like this section right here where we put a riser in the back. So the taller items we could put in the back, the shorter items you could put up front. Great way to actually store some of the smaller types of spices. So all in all, you got a section down at the bottom that's a little bit taller for some of your bigger items, your apple cider vinegars, your corn syrups, things of that nature. But all in all, turned out really, really good. Freed up some pantry space, and I'm pretty excited. So I don't know, I think I probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 in this project. But hey, I love to be organized, love to be able to see what I have and what I need. We had a real problem. We'd buy the same spice over and over because we couldn't see it in the cabinet and it would expire and we would throw away a lot of stuff. So at least now, whenever we get ready to cook, we can easily see what we have, what we need, and we can go from there. Hey, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. What do you think about this? If you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll answer them. And as always, glory be to God. I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving weekend.